I just love doing that.
I know, same. At least we're in sync now.
I know. Hello, I am Asis-Carilo. Let's fill this day with happiness and positivity and make your morning unforgettable.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. We're excited to brighten your day, so join us this morning for some fun, laughter, and uplifting moments. Speaking of some fun moments, if you guys are wondering where Paolo is, we have 5 beauty queens, 6. I'm just kidding.
6,
to
you're
be exact.
included to
so
that.
Paolo
Yes.
felt pressured to look his best, so he's getting his lashes done. That's why he's not here. He'll be joining us later on the show.
He's having his makeup done, lashes, hair.
extensions.
He's doing a few ab crunches as well.
It's just time to be Mr. Billionario.
I know. So we've got a fun show lined up for you guys. We also have a topic about thrifting later on and a little bit of history, Philippine history as well, right?
I'm so excited.
So it's going to be a jam-packed show for this morning. But first, let's head on to the news. Mary Ann Maslog, who was previously declared dead by the Sandigan Bayan in 2018, has been frequently visiting Camp Crame under the alias Jessica Francisco. The source said, quote, as Francisco, she was going in and out of Camp Crame, talking to various heads of police units, offering information on police concerns and offering charity projects which never turned into anything. Maslog was arrested by the National Bureau of Investigation in late September for her involvement in a 24 million textbook scam from 1998. She has connections with Alice Guo and Sual, Pangasinan Mayor Dong Kalugay, potentially aiding the dismissed mayor's escape. During a Senate hearing, Maslog avoided questions about her ties to Guo and was cited for contempt by Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa for lying. Maslog claimed she was recruited by PNP intelligence group Brigadier General Romeo Macapas to assist in Guo's arrest. But Macapas refuted this, stating she volunteered. PNP spokesperson Police Brigadier General Jean Fajardo mentioned that authorities would investigate Maslog's visits to Guo and any potential rule violations. Senator J.V. Ejercito confirmed that detained ex-mayor Alice Guo has provided new information during her executive session with senators to uncover the masterminds of crimes linked to illegal Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. The panel's main goal is to pinpoint the head of the international crime syndicate in which Guo is involved. Guo is currently detained in Pasig City Jail and facing multiple cases, including money laundering, misrepresentation, and qualified human trafficking. Meanwhile, Porac, Pampanga Mayor Jaime Capil, Vice Mayor Francis Lawrence Tamayo, several councilors, and a municipal hall officer have been suspended over their involvement in crimes linked to Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. Ombudsman Samuel Martirez issued an order for their 6-month preventive suspension without pay. The other officials include Councilors Roner Buwan, Rafael Canlapan, Adrian Carrion, Regine Clarete, Esel Joy David, Hilario Di Malanta, Michelle Santos, John Nuevi Venzon, and licensing assistant Emerald Vital. The suspension follows investigations into POGO-related crimes in Porac and Bamban Tarlac. The officials face accusations of neglecting their duties by permitting the operation of the POGO firm Lucky South 99 despite questionable permits. Capil is the second mayor suspended over illegal POGOs following Bamban Mayor Alice Guo's dismissal for similar ties.
In other news, new overseas Filipino workers in Israel are more likely to request repatriation due to the escalating conflict. In BNC's agenda, Ana Arizala, founder of the Filipino Organization in Northern Israel, or FONI, said while OFWs in the Afula district are safe and far from the danger zones, she noted that longtime workers are more accustomed to the conflict and primarily seek psychological support.
Kaming ginawa, which is with the help of Vice Consul Terry Bautista, nagmapping po kami ng mga Pilipino dito kung ilan pa. And then 2 weeks ago, with the help of my President Gina Tumaning, nagmapping din po kami doon sa mga natira pa Kasi yung iba na-relocate na kagaya po ng Kiryas-Mona, wala na pong Kiryas-Mona halos doon na tao. Inilipat sila, nirelocate na po sila sa ibang mga hotel na kasama ang kanilang mga employer, kasama yung kanilang mga alaga.
The Philippine Embassy in Lebanon has received 1,721 repatriation applications, with over 500 Filipinos already returned home. The tension has escalated following Israel's assassination of top Hezbollah leaders and ground operations in southern Lebanon, raising fears of a broader Middle East conflict. Despite attending the ASEAN summit in Laos, President Bongbong Marcos instructed government offices to use all available resources to rescue and repatriate Filipinos caught in the conflict between Israel and Lebanon. He emphasized that Filipinos would be evacuated by any means necessary, whether by air or sea. Meanwhile, President Marcos arrived in Laos for the 44th and 45th ASEAN Summit and related summits, where he and other leaders were welcomed by the Prime Minister of Laos. President Marcos, accompanied by First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, will participate in discussions focused on this year's theme, ASEAN Enhancing Connectivity and Resilience. He will deliver the keynote speech at the ASEAN Business and Investment Summit 2024 and promote topics such as the digital economy, cybersecurity, and MSME support. The summit will also address transnational crimes and human trafficking. In other news, COMELEC Chairman George Garcia is prepared to face any impeachment complaint. Former Caloocan Congressman Edgar Erice is filing an impeachment case against Garcia. This is in connection with COMELEC's 18 billion peso contract with Miro Systems for the 2025 elections. Speaking on BNC's At the Forefront, Erice claimed that using prototype machines is illegal, especially when they haven't been used in any polls yet. Erice alleges that Garcia favored the interest of the South Korean polling system over that of COMELEC's. Garcia declined to comment but assured that the preparations for the upcoming elections are not compromised.
Wala pong inisyu ang Supreme Court na temporary restraining order against the COMELEC. Tuloy-tuloy lang po ang ating pong paghahanda. Hindi po tayo pinatigil ng kataas-taasang hukuman.
In world news, Uganda confirms a case of Mpox in prison. Jail authorities in central Uganda say the patient had been isolated and was receiving treatment. The Uganda Prison Service adds the jail facility would rely on systems and protocols in place during the COVID-19 pandemic to try and combat the spread of the disease. The World Health Organization declared Mpox a global public health emergency for the second time in 2 years in August. And in Germany, exports rose in August due to strong demand, defying market expectations of a decline. Data from the Federal Statistics Office show exports rose by 1.3% in August, with the United States and the United Kingdom pushing the strong demand. Germany's trade surplus jump was boosted mainly by a sharp fall in imports, which fell by 3.4%. And you know what? I am actually seeing Pao.
Does he look beautiful?
By the side, yes. Full makeup done, wearing his gown and his crown.
I love it. I can't wait to see his reveal.
We're going to be bullying Pao the entire show today.
It's our turn because he always bullies us.
Exactly.
So now it's our moment. No, I'm totally kidding. Paolo looks normal, guys. Baka magulat lang kayo. Paolo's not ready.
They might be expecting
right, like the whole lashes, the wig.
But yes, we are going to be having not just one beauty queen, but 5.
Yes.
Plus you, of course.
And it's exciting because we're doing something that we normally don't do on the show. So stay tuned to see what that is later on.
Yes, yes, yes. And not just that, something to look forward to as well is our interview with Mighty Magulang.
I'm so excited for that. I think actually Paolo's the most excited because Paolo's her biggest fan.
Exactly,
And got me
yes.
onto following her on TikTok. And it's actually amazing what she talks about. I'm learning so much about Philippine history through her.
I love how she makes Philippine history super interesting by adding a bit of humor to it.
Right.
Making it funny and amusing. It's nice to watch.
And you know what's actually interesting? She started with genealogy. So I have a few questions for her later, like how can we trace our family history?
Right,
Because that's how
right.
she
That's
started. I was watching one of her clips, and she wouldn't call herself a historian. She said, I'm more of like a genealogy, but she's not a genealogist. She's actually a businesswoman, I think. So we
has
can
a
ask
lot
her
of
this
hats.
later. Exactly.
Oh,
So
look
I'm
who
excited.
decided to join
Wow,
us today.
Mr. Billionario himself. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Paolo del Rosario. Welcome back. No, but honestly, I came in and I was just stunned and I was just, I was left rooted to my spot. I forgot to start the show. It's just one of those great days there. But then of course, you know, you mentioned a while ago, Mighty Magulang on the show.
Yes,
and of
yes.
course, this is the most amount of beauty queens I've ever seen on one show.
I know, right? So many crowns.
We're excited.
I can't wait for all
Yep.
of that. And of course, I believe we got something here for you before we go with regards to sports happening that just happened yesterday. Actually, I just came from there last night. In sports, sweet revenge for Barangay Ginebra as the San Miguel Beermen in the PBA Governors Cup semifinals. After absorbing a 49-point beatdown last month, the Gen Kings thrashed the Beermen Game 1 Wednesday at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. 122-105. Justin Brownlee was him. As Ginebra's resident import torched the San Miguel Beermen with a record five 4-pointers. JB was red hot in the third quarter, scoring 20 points to finish with 33. Stephen Holt also posting an impressive number for Barangay Ginebra, 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists for a complete game. In the next, the TNT Tropang Giga zaps the Rain and Shine Alaska Painters in Game 1 of their semi-series, 90-81. RHJ Ronde Halls Jefferson leads the defending champs with 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. Stingray Nambata hits his former team, ROS, in the semis opener with 11 in the third to finish with 14. Now, 7 Filipino business leaders also make it to Fortune magazine's 2024 list of the most powerful women in Asia. Highest ranking among them, GCash President and CEO Martha Sazon, who placed 38th. Also on the list, Robina Gokongwei Pe of Robinson's Retail Holdings, Lorelei Kiambao Ocial of Shell Pilipinas, and Ayala Land's Ana Bautista D. Lynette Ortiz of Land Bank and MegaWorld's Lourdes Gutierrez Alfonso and Rhonda Huang of Philinvest Development complete the list alongside Chinese tech entrepreneur Grace Wang, who tops the Fortune list. The magazine says these women are redefining leadership by disrupting industries and driving growth while inspiring the next generation of leaders. So here's the thing. I was listening to what you were all saying about me being in a crown as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here in a very special episode of It's a Beautiful Day.
Yeah. The first
Because
of its
we're gonna
kind.
have a little pageant
A
of
little
our own.
pageant, yeah.
In a different way. I've been part of one pageant in my life.
Really? Now
As-
two?
No, as I was one of the guys who helped the beauty queens go down the staircase.
You can do that later.
No, but we don't have any staircases here. So I don't know. I'll let you two lead the way with regards to that, because when we return, we'll celebrate the winners of Miss Asia Pacific International 2024, highlighting the beauty and strength of these incredible women. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back.
To get ourselves sprung. You have to get declined. Girl, for me. To get ourselves sprung. You have to get declined.
was the first of its kind. We're having a mini It's a Beautiful Day pageant here. So today we celebrate the winners of Miss Asia Pacific International, where beauty transcends the surface. And as a former beauty queen who once stood on stage competing myself, I know firsthand the dedication, passion, and even the strict diet that goes into this journey. I'm not dieting now, so we're okay. These remarkable women step into the spotlight, weaving their stories of strength and pride from their own countries into a rich mosaic of elegance and inspiration. It's indeed a beautiful day, ladies. Thank you for your beautiful catwalk. I need to tiptoe. I'm not wearing heels. I forgot the memo. So we're gonna do a mini Q&A. Are you guys ready? Yes. So Paolo, you wanna start?
Okay.
And I have our random
Take the
questions over here.
So of course I think some of you are already mic'd up. We have random questions ready for all of you.
Yes.
I have not seen any of the questions, so good luck to all you ladies. And right now, so we're gonna start off at, all right, so we're gonna give the mic to you first. I hope you don't mind. And of course, here's your question, okay? Hope you're ready, because it's the first time ever doing this. This is actually a career moment.
Are you nervous right now?
Are you nervous right now?
I think she's
There
more
you go.
nervous
I'm
than
more
you.
nervous.
I know.
Absolutely.
Here,
I
we're
feel
gonna
that.
pick the questions in this.
No, I have it
cup.
already. I have it already.
Oh, you picked it?
Yeah,
Oh.
already picked it.
Oh, see, ready,
Okay, you
ready,
see?
si Paolo.
I
Oh,
know,
she's
right?
excited.
That's something I gotta learn, all right? I gotta let them do it instead. All right, so your question is, what do you think is the biggest challenge in terms of achieving gender equality worldwide, and how can it be overcome?
I think that the biggest challenge is going over the stigma, the idea that women are just for certain things and men are only for certain things, that their roles can't be intertwined or that their activities can't be mixed. So I think we have to work together as a society and break those stigmas and like show the world that we are all human and we can do whatever our heart tells us to do. So I think that's it.
All right, perfect. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much. Nice missing you.
Thank you, yes.
All right, Mo, so I'll let you handle the next one with Anne.
Okay.
Anne, go ahead.
I guess
All
I'll
right,
pick the
okay.
question.
I'll pick the question for our next beauty
We're not as
queen.
ready as Paolo.
Okay, here's your, you have a microphone with you? Okay, maybe I can give this to you. There you go. All right, your question is, how can we combat the rising levels of misinformation and its impact on global issues such as public health and democracy?
Yes. I believe that the government should have more fact checkers online, that we should be more careful what we believe, because everything that we see online, we should always think first, is it real? Make a choice for ourselves. What do we believe before we think everything is 100% sure? And we can make up our own minds because we're smart people, and we can always check on facts and ask people around and never judge what you see online, because that's very important. Also for with the media, sometimes they can make a judgment without knowing the full story. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important for ourselves to make our own choices what we believe without judging people and information that we see online.
Very well said, and that's why she is wearing that crown. See? Okay, whose turn is it?
All right, so I'm gonna go read again.
Okay,
But
go ahead.
Mo is holding all the questions here for us.
I thought you were prepared.
No, we were. So we now go to, okay, so this will be really interesting. I love that mug, by the way. So we're gonna have you answer this one. And again, I hope the pressure's not ramping up. I know you're the third one in. So the question is, because this one's interesting. How can we address the growing disparity between wealth and poverty in both developed and in developing countries?
Thank you for your question. Is it on?
Yes. It's
Okay. I believe that we should have more education for everyone. That way, people who are of less income can get the education that they deserve so that they can get the jobs that they deserve. It is very important that all kids, no matter where they come from, no matter the economical status that their family has, that they have the education that they need so that in the future they can become successful and that they can get jobs that will sustain them and that will help them in the future.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank
All
you.
right.
And now, Miss Philippines. Magandang umaga.
Magandang
So you actually say that better than she does. and we're happy with that. All right, Mo, we'll let you read this
are
one.
you ready for your question?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. In the face of climate change, what role governments and individuals play in ensuring environmental sustainability?
I think that it's very important for us to be first aware and spread awareness, and second of all, to educate ourselves in how climate change is affecting us. Like, for example, in our country and in all countries, for example, in Asia, yearly we experience a change in the climate, whether this is through extreme heat or tropical typhoons, and it is affecting our communities. So I think the government can better help us with first educating, and we can also make small changes as individuals to be able to make big changes, and it starts at home. Like, for example, practicing sustainability. And those are some ways that we could help implement change in climate change.
Thank you for that. And last but not least, Miss
Yes.
Germany. Guten Morgen.
Yes, that's right. Good morning. Magandang umaga po.
Oh, wow.
She says that better than you do.
I'm leaving.
All right, so Anne has
Yes,
our last
final
question for you.
With increasing migration due to conflict and climate crisis, how should countries manage refugees while ensuring human rights and national security?
Well, I believe all humans should have the same rights because human is human no matter their race, their religion, and we should help each other to create a society where everybody feels welcome and have the same rights according to education or language, so we can live all together and in a nice environment where everybody feels safe and welcome, because at the end of the day we're all humans, and I think nobody should feel like left behind.
Right.
Right, perfect. Again, ladies, first of all, thank you very much for all of your lovely answers. So this is our first time ever doing a Q&A and a beauty pageant style here on the show. And because this is the first time, I doubt it's going to be the last, but we have a bit of time here. So I want to go ask you a few random questions here about your experience here, first and foremost. Miss USA, I'll start off with you, because again, coming here and being part of this pageant and really interacting with all of your queens, how was that experience for you? And of course, what is your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest memory that you're going to go home with?
It was an amazing experience. I feel like I traveled the world. I feel like I went to every country from the contestants because I learned something from every culture. And it was such an amazing experience. I got to try new foods. I got to experience new music, new dances. It was so amazing. And what I'm gonna take away from this is a bunch of lifelong friends that I get to just connect with forever. And I already have a friend. She said, "Oh, whenever you come to France, you can stay with me. Whenever you come to Belgium, you can stay with me."
Yes.
So it's amazing, and I'm just so thankful and happy.
Now that you guys are here in the Philippines, I'm sure the viewers and myself, we're so curious. What is your favorite Filipino food? Because I know you guys tried some. So we'll go down the line.
Yes.
Miss
Y'all name
Philippines
it.
gets a pass, I guess, with regards to it. But we'll start off first with Miss Mexico, if you don't mind.
I don't know. I don't really know the names of them.
Yeah.
Okay,
We have,
just describe it to us.
We have similar cuisine, though, somewhat similar cuisine.
Yes.
We can try to help you with a
like
name.
some noodles. It was.
Pancit.
I think it was that.
Yeah,
And it's pancit.
Yeah.
Pancit.
Yes, they were delicious. And
Okay.
you say it's similar, but I don't think. Well, the food my mom makes me at home, it's not like that. So
Yeah.
for me, it was
totally
a new
different.
experience,
All right.
and it was delicious. So
But as long as it was a good experience
Yes,
for you.
it was a
that's-
great experience,
Yeah,
yes.
great.
Miss Belgium?
I already tried the alo ice.
Alo, alo.
And yeah, my favorite color is purple, so having food in your color, it's amazing. And I really liked it. And also you have the ube bread and the
Yeah.
delicious treats they make of it. So yeah,
Yes,
everything that's
yes.
purple
So
here is
Everything purple.
I totally agree 100%.
Yes.
Ube is life.
Or
Yes.
Everything in purple here is
Yes,
great
it's
to
great,
eat,
yes.
for sure. Miss USA?
I like adobo chicken.
Adobo.
Adobo, yes,
And
of course.
also Jollibee. Yeah, I love Jollibee.
That is those are great options.
Yeah,
As we all expect. And of course, Miss Philippines. All right, so
Sabi na rin
which
natin
one?
siya.
Let's see how exotic this can get.
For me personally, nothing can beat kare-kare.
Kare-kare.
Yes, kare-kare with bagoong.
Totally agree.
Yes, I love kare-kare.
Yeah.
I like how we all got excited
I
when
know.
Miss Winchell said kare-kare. Ladies, you all have to try kare-kare. She'll show
Yes.
you the best spots for it.
Yes.
And of course, Miss Germany.
Meron pa ako.
Yeah.
So I have a sweet tooth. I like everything sweet. My favorite, absolute favorite, is sapin-sapin.
Sapin-sapin.
And
And I love that too.
Yeah, bilo-bilo, banana Q, everything kakanin. Like, yeah, I love that.
I just can't get over how her Tagalog is better than mine.
I don't
The
know.
way she pronounces the food,
I
the
know.
names. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
incredible. But of course, again, the thing with the show is that we always end up eating a lot right after it.
That's so true.
You have already encouraged our appetites for today. But we're going to wrap things up in just a bit. But I'll have Miss USA lead us out here because, again, this whole experience is the first time for all of us here on the show to have these many beauty queens. Just can you tell us a bit about the impact that you feel that you girls could be making by being able to advocate for all your advocacies and, of course, just really showing off the power of the femininity here through this pageant?
So thank you for that. Yes, I believe that all of us here come from different walks of life, and we've all proven that women can do anything that they set their minds to, no matter what the circumstances are. And also with our advocacies, we are now so powerful. We can use our voices for the people that cannot speak for themselves. I know for me, my advocacy is to make sure that kids get proper health care because growing up, my brother had cancer. He passed away from cancer, and I just want to make sure that kids all over the world get proper health care. And with our voices, we can do that. With our titles, we can use that for the better, not just for pictures, not just for wearing a crown and looking pretty. It's more important than that. It's more meaningful than that.
All right, ladies, thank you very much for joining us on the show again. We really appreciate
so much.
You've made It's a Beautiful Day all the more beautiful with your presence, your grace, and of course, your lovely words. Thank you very much for joining us. And again,
Thank you.
hopefully you can go on their social medias and follow and give them a follow and get to know them a bit more. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll have to move on from this segment. From Beauty Queens, we'll now speak to a content creator whose short-form videos about history gained her a following on social media. Mighty Magulang will join us live after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Our guest today is a social media personality who describes herself as a history geek, ninuno hunter, and a certified tita. Mona Magno Veluz, better known online as Mighty Magulang, now joins us live via Zoom from Dasmariñas, Cavite. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. So I want to start off. First of all, I'm a huge fan. This is the guesting that I have pushed the hardest on this show, and it's an honor to have you on. Unang-una po, what inspired you to start vlogging about history and genealogy? Because those are not necessarily topics that you would associate with all of a sudden trending or at least be a big hit on either TikTok or wherever on social media.
The thing about my foray into social media is I did it as a coping mechanism during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to learn the platform. I wanted to understand how TikTok worked because up front, I didn't know what an FYP was. I was wondering why I was getting videos that I did not subscribe to. So it was really the only way to understand how the platform worked. And I chose genealogy over anything else because that's what I actually do. And there's, like you said, not a lot of material on it. At first, I thought I was just speaking into the void. I was experimenting, and I realized that this is not something people wanted to watch. So I was just doing it for myself. I was just doing it for, you know, just to make myself happy, I suppose. And yeah, that's how it started.
How about the name Mighty Magulang? Saan po yan nanggaling?
Mighty Magulang was something I took very early on when I started social media. So even before TikTok, I was already using Mighty Magulang because my eldest son is on the autism spectrum. And it is something that parang motivates me, at least when I was, and that's what how I still feel today, that parents should be empowered, especially when their kids have disabilities.
Grabe po. First of all, that's a great story behind Mighty Magulang. I didn't realize the depth behind that. But is there any specific story of why you decided na ito magiging passion mo, ito magiging field mo? Talking about history, talking about genealogy?
Yeah, so I am a business major, and my master's is in applied business economics. So that is very far removed from history. I got into the genealogy, thing when this was in the year 2000, when I wanted to give a special Christmas gift to our family. I created a book, and I interviewed people. I went through the archives, researched the history of the clan, and it snowballed. And also late that year, when I talk very passionately about what I've accomplished, a lot of people are asking, hey, can you do that for me? So it was also the year that I started doing it semi-professionally. And this was the time that I was still in corporate.
Yeah.
So it was a gig that I did on the side, but it gave me so much joy that I continued to do it on the side, even while I was in a full-time role.
Tita Mona, Tita Mona. Tita Mona, certified tita to another certified tita. Tita Mona, how do you choose which topics or historical figures to cover?
I work on a calendar. So the easiest usually is Today in Philippine History. But I also try my best to make history relevant by referencing the news and referencing the things that are going on in our society and trying to make sense of it by looking back.
Now, Tita Mona, I'm a huge fan as somebody who doesn't know that much stuff about Filipino history. I actually turned to you to learn a lot, so thank you. You mentioned earlier genealogy. As somebody who's interested in my own history, how can we or I research about our past?
That's a very common question that I get, and I always tell people who are starting out to look inside your house. Look for documents that are relevant to your ancestry. For example, birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates. Also, photographs. There are a lot of, especially from like the last century, you can see people scribble things at the back. And this helps you piece together a good story. Once you've looked at everything inside your house, start talking to old people, talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents, talk to your titos and titas who hung out with your great-grandparents. And that's when you get more information. After you get all of the oral histories together, this is a good opportunity for you to go the next mile by going to an archive, looking up the birth, death, and marriage certificates. You can also make it a travel thing. Go to the hometown of your ancestors, go to the cemeteries, go to the church, go to the civil registry, and visit the ancestral house, and it becomes more part of your life rather than a one-time history exercise.
Personally po, are there any historical figures or any stories from your family that you've uncovered that made you closer personally towards yung clan mo?
In my clan, we're very humble people, so there are not a lot of like politicians or people in that space. Although we do have a lot of creatives.
Yeah.
So we have so we do have some ancestors who were like who created music. So that's where my family actually that's what my ancestors did for a living. Most of them though were professionals, like they were dentists. I had soldiers in my family. I had my Lola was a celebrity hairstylist.
Wow.
And things like that. So there were that's the whole thing. It's not about having relevant historical figures in your family, but once you get into the those discoveries, you realize that your ancestors lived in a society, and it is when you study that context, their context, that you appreciate Filipino history in general.
Now, Tita Mona, I'm going to ask you a very pageant question, since we just had a mini pageant here. From all the people that you've researched about, if you could have dinner with any of the historical figures you've looked up, who would it be and why?
I actually am particularly interested with women in family trees, and not because I know I know something about them. It is because I don't know anything about them. In family history research, our knowledge are kind of skewed towards men, and my lola, my lola's lola, my lola's lola's lola, all of that. I don't know anything about them, because aside from the record of birthing kids, I don't know what they did for a living, if anything. I don't know if how they were. It's like women in history are measured based on how they raised their children, and not by who they were as women. And I wish I could get all of my mom's mom and get them together in a party. That I think would be a great, I would enjoy that very much, and I want to see where our feistiness comes from.
That is a great question, Mark. I'd love to know the answer to that also. Again, ako personally, I have so many questions to ask you, like your thoughts on why you think the Laparel family is your biggest most viewed clip with 3.4 million on TikTok, even to my own family history as a Del Rosario from Tansa, Cavite. But we don't have enough time for that at the moment. Again, thank you very much for joining us. That's Mighty Magulang. She's great on TikTok. She's great on social media. Go check it out and you'll find out something new about Philippine history for sure. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we'll now move on. Anne is in a special place right now in our studio with a very special setup. We'll throw it over to her at the moment.
A special place, I love it, how you said that. Yes, I am in a special place because look at all this vintage stuff that we have right here. The fashion industry has entered a crisis point in being one of the top pollutants in the world. Now, an equally pressing matter with that in mind is dressing cool. We hit two birds with one stone with our guest this morning. Artist and entrepreneur Eric Sagiped joins us in the studio to show off his coolest vintage thrift finds and his visionary take on fashion with reworked garments. It's a beautiful day, Eric.
It's a beautiful day, Anne.
It's
Hello.
so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
First and foremost, what are you wearing today?
Fit check. Okay. So just like you mentioned,
Yes.
I thrift a lot of stuff. So everything's thrifted except for the undergarments. That's must. So the one I'm
Okay.
wearing, it's more of like a repurposed from scraps from the previous projects that I have.
Okay. Did you design this yourself?
Yes.
Oh my
So
God,
these are
it's
cut-ups.
super nice.
Yes. So just to ride the wave of sustainability, and we have like a thrifted pair of pants.
Okay.
And yeah, basically.
So
that's
we're
that.
talking about like two brands, no? Karma Collective and Vintage Junkie.
Yes.
So what is Karma Collective?
Karma Collective is more of like my passion project, wherein the vision is more likely like salvaging old fabrics that I usually find every time I thrift.
Like this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So, for example, these are the stuff that I have. are made from tea towels or kitchen linens made from the 80s.
Whoa,
Yes,
that is
thank
so
you.
cool.
So yeah, so for example, this is 1983.
Will that fit me?
I think so. The thing,
It actually fits my top, see?
the thing is about the garments that I make, it's always my size.
Okay.
It's more of like my creative outlet.
All right.
Primarily, it's really not for sale, but a lot of people are actually, they buy it as well. So.
You know, Eric, I just want to let you know that my two co-hosts here have a history of buying all the clothes of
That
our
is
guests.
so true.
I can
So,
truly relate.
This one's mine.
So I know you may have to reconsider that policy of not selling for the moment. But you know, we talk a bit about the inspiration. One of the words there is upcycling, turning these materials that are technically recycled into something else. What is the word upcycling to you in your craft?
So I'll just rather use the word repurpose.
Yeah.
Because repurpose is most likely like other stuff from towels, from discarded pants, and you make it into something like a new product. Because upcycling is more of like using the same fabric but still retains its functionality.
Right, right.
So I like picking stuff that are not intentionally to be worn as a garment and just use it. For example, this is like a blanket, old polo shirts, stuff like that.
But then, not all reworked garments are fashionable, but yours look great. Yours look great.
It's about who wears it.
She's trying to lower the price point of your clothes.
No. Just tell us your secret. I mean, where do you get inspiration for your designs,
First, I
the
think
way you style things?
it's most likely like just try to be authentic.
Right.
Because a lot of people follow trends, which is not advisable because trends die.
Yeah.
But if you're authentic or true to yourself, the design that you project to the people, it's more appreciated by the people or the society.
Okay, before we go, let's move on to Vintage Junkie,
Yeah.
just so that we can explain what Vintage Junkie is all about. Tell us briefly about what Vintage Junkie is.
So Vintage Junkie is more of like my hobby turned into my career.
Okay.
So it started 2017 wherein I thrift clothes just for myself.
Okay.
And then I'm also part of a collective which is called Season Pass. We have a store in Quezon City wherein we gather pieces in line with our personal tastes and cater to different audiences.
I see. Yes. All right.
Well,
Thank
Irv,
you.
of course, we want to hear more from you, of course, and follow you on social media. We'll encourage all our viewers to do that and check all this stuff out because, to be quite honest, there is so much to go around. And in fact, Anne is going to steal this. But for the meantime, she's gonna buy it.
Wow. You can't say that on camera.
Sinabi na niya.
Come on.
No.
Look
That's
at
so she
Eric's
can
face.
try.
Eric's like, that's my personal piece.
But Irv, thank you so much for coming on the show,
Sure.
and we hope that we'll be able to, showcase this more in the future. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's all for us today. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Remember, even on a Thursday, there's always something to smile about.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a fantastic morning. Don't forget to spread the love and kindness.
And I am Asis-Carilo. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are sending you all good vibes for a wonderful Thursday, only here on
It's a Beautiful Day.